Welcome to the Aweman Podcast, where we're having conversations through the lenses of three different perspectives.
All that shit.
I am the Tony Davis.
Michelangelo the Brain.
And I'm Wayne, #Aweman.
Join us while we're still here at the 404 Smoke Shop, Camp Creek, Georgia.
Camp Creek, Georgia? They're going to be like, all folks will be like, where?
Camp Creek, Atlanta metro area. You guys know.
Yeah.
So anyway.
That's not Atlanta. Oh.
It's not Atlanta.
Okay.
We're not doing that.
We're not.
So today since we got #Wayne back, we wanted to do a video response to Karine Steffans, aka Elizabeth something. She's going by some new name. Rebrand, but ironically she's talking about slut shaming. Like, if you're talking about being shamed for being sexual, as one would say it, why are you changing your name? Why are you rebranding?
For those of you who don't know who Karine Steffans is, she's Superhead. She's a former.
I don't think she hides from that.
Well, he hadn't specified who that was, just her rebrand name.
Got it.
Yeah.
So
It's Elizabeth Ellison or Allison or something.
Oh,
like
got
that.
it. All right.
It's a totally different
She
name.
wants to be a royal. It's cool.
Yeah, something. So, she was on this new show, or I guess she's the host of this new show called Asking for a Friend on Blavity. So, check them out if you're interested.
Oh,
and we'll
cute.
also put the link to the original video below so you can check that out as well. But this is her talking about Lori Harvey initially, and then moving into like some slut shaming.
Get into it.
Yeah.
Time for, she's beautiful, by the way.
Oh, gorgeous.
Lori Harvey's gorgeous, right? There was a period of time where she was actively and publicly dating, I don't know, I think just a strong, healthy dating life.
Mm-hmm.
And I happen to have a short list
Of the healthy
Yes.
dating.
Which I was surprised to see a couple of names on this list.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you the ones that surprised me.
Yeah.
So just for reference.
I know a few, but let's see if I know them.
So just for reference, we know Future. I think that was pretty obvious.
Yep.
And then there was Boo, who is Akon's brother.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is he also helping him build
Lights in
royalty?
Africa?
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay.
Boo and Akon work very closely together.
He took some time.
I have
off
a
to
whole.
date
Never mind.
Lori.
We ain't gonna go into what I have about that. I'm just gonna leave that. That's another show, child.
Another episode?
Stop
I
it.
got nothing
Listen.
for that.
Let's get into slut shaming because I can't with you.
All right. So before we even get to slut shaming, just the two names. Two names that she mentioned.
Right.
Both, obviously, she liked the Atlanta persuasion.
Okay.
The ATL.
Are they living in Atlanta? It doesn't matter. Keep going.
Yeah, I don't think Boo is actively living in Atlanta, but
It's not Atlanta.
He was here enough.
yeah,
He's here
I was
enough.
here enough.
And then Future.
Few.
My thing was those two names alone, and then we know that she's been dating.
She's been linked to other people.
To other cats.
Sure.
The cats that she's been linked to, though, the problem that I have is like it's different if you just dating like cool celebrity or a good guy, quote unquote. All these dudes is like could niggas.
But how are we determining that though? Just because
That's just what he said.
persona?
Persona and what they actively try to project.
Sure.
Okay.
So how they come off in
And their music and their art, their reflection is.
And how is that?
That they get a lot of women.
They're famous.
No, but that like I'm actively running through these chicks.
She belongs to the streets.
I mean,
Like the fact that you have
athletes and entertainers, man. Like that's pretty much.
This is the issue. I have no issue with that. Just like I don't have an issue with a woman who's dealing with a lot of dudes, which we're gonna get into, how you do it. So why would I want to deal with that chick if you've been linked to Future, who historically has had a bad or cantankerous and confrontational relationship with a lot of the women that he's dealt with.
You could say that about the guy you're sitting next to.
That right? Okay, I'm not going.
Mind you, we don't physically know Future, so we just know what
In the media.
is. Right?
Yes.
Right.
In the media.
So
yes.
it's perspective.
Yeah.
Correct. Nice if I could
Which is
speak.
all we can do is speculate.
Per.
I mean, you know.
I mean, that's all we can do is
That's
speculate.
true.
Yes.
She seems
So-
you know.
So
keep going.
under this presumption, you're saying that.
Oh no, we're not done yet.
Okay.
So let's go through the quick list.
Oh my goodness.
Future, Diddy, Justin Combs, his son, Trey Songz. I don't know who this nigga is. Memphis Depay. I don't know who that is. Right. So that's just the short list. Hold on. Let's see if she got a next page. I think she has a next page. Okay. No next page on this.
Do you think they all slept with her?
I think
you think?
I think it's about 85%.
Dude, that's high.
It's only like 5 dudes. The worst thing about it is the
On the
5
short list.
On a short list.
That's true.
It
And
might-
a father and a son is on the that.
It's problematic for me.
However, if it doesn't work with Michael B, then what? How would you look at her? Because right now she can get married and it wouldn't matter.
If her and Michael B. Jordan get married, no, it still would be a little smudge. It's
No
not gonna
one's
be a
talking
stain.
about Sierra like that.
Yes, they did. They went hard on Sierra for.
But
Wait,
are
they didn't
now?
go hard.
Are they? Where are they now?
How long has she been married to Russell Wilson?
Like 5 years? 6 years? 4 or 5 years?
So that first 2 or 3 years, and also Future was not the she's for the streets meme now.
Right.
Like he was out there,
But was Lil Bow Wow?
no, not at the time.
Was
Look,
50?
Lil 50 was probably the worst. Was probably the first move. Was the worst move.
But they had a relationship though.
Right, and it wasn't like we're dating like for a month and then we're done. Her and 50 had some time. Her and Bow Wow had a lot of time. Like
Yeah.
we all thought they were gonna get married.
Right.
Like
right. There's
so
gonna be that youth hip hop couple.
yeah, and then her and Future were together.
Yeah.
I don't know what Future was doing necessarily on the outside. So like it was different with that. Like,
Can you have that with your old lady?
can I have what?
Can you be out there for the streets? Or would she not want you? Like you get fame and then
Oh, and then like I'm just running
Yeah.
through chicks. No, but that would just be out of integrity on my side anyway though.
how you think guys should move?
I think God should just be true enough to himself to know how he's moving. Like I don't want somebody who is going to like I respect Future because he doesn't apologize.
Oh no, I've
for
had
how
some
he's moving.
dirtbaggy ways. That's why I agree now. But that's
Yeah, but I'm saying like Future also just says, "Hey, this is what I'm doing." Like I'm not hiding that like I run through these chicks.
Right.
He doesn't never be like, "I'm so sorry that I was, like this is what I do." You fuck with it?
Sensational.
Right?
Sensational.
That's it.
You know.
Mask off.
Fuck it, mask on. But so in the inverse, because we're speaking from a male perspective because we're males, but in the inverse, how would she be? Is she still liable for that if she's under the impression that I'm taking him at face value? Like I understand what you're saying, but I still want to give you a shot because I fuck with you.
That's a good point.
Is she at fault?
Not just. I mean, your perception and how it looks in the world is based on your choices.
Correct.
So if a guy comes up to her and says, "Hey, I'm trying to be with you," and he turns out to be a dirtbag, you can't fault her for choosing a dirtbag.
If we were in a club and we've seen this, dude approaches 4 women in a line.
Mm-hmm.
You should not be choosing dudes from a club unless you don't mind him always being in the club.
So that's
that's where I met
one
you.
point. That's one point, right? So then I've seen him approach 4 other girls. Either got numbers or didn't get numbers from 4 other girls. I'm number 5.
Well, you want to feel special. You want to feel like you're part of the group. He didn't approach everybody.
Or he did.
Like for guys, he did. It's a numbers game.
Right.
And
So
in order to filter out what you want to get, and that's pretty important that I would suggest to guys. Like if you want to be with one woman, then make that known to yourself. If you don't, also make that known to yourself and then let them know that you're not really wanting to settle down. It matters.
Selection process.
Selection process.
right. So I'm saying, can she be at fault? Yes. Because if she gets pregnant by a dude, and this is also different, right? It's levels to this. Because it's plenty of Futures out there, there's plenty of Russell Wilsons out there, there's plenty of Michael B. Jordans out there, there's plenty of Trey Songz. Not celebrity. What I'm saying
financially.
is it's plenty of dudes who are like a good dude. I'm a hardworking dude. On one side, Russell Wilson, I'm good. I take care of my responsibilities. I don't do too much over here. I'm chilling, right? There are the Michael B. Jordans who young, still attractive, relatively good guys, like no major issues like that you can talk to. Mm-hmm. And then there's the adventure with Future, who is, yo, I ain't gonna treat you right, but I'm gonna fuck you right. It's Diddy's who like, yo, I'm a little bit older, but I still got some swag. Like I still got some
I feel like
style.
you're arguing for her at this point. Like
I'm saying there are guys like that. So if you're looking at, because these are celebrities,
sure.
So if we bring this down to like a normal woman,
yeah,
it's a hardworking dude, and then there's adventure or the swag,
right?
And most of those women are gonna go for that first, because we'll get to this in a second. Matter of fact, let's
proceed.
All right.
It's the stigmatization of a woman. So let me stop it. Is stigmatizing a woman for engaging in behavior judged to be as promiscuous or sexually provocative?
Okay.
And I left the part where it says a woman, because listen, if you look up in the dictionary any of these words, slut, whore, tramp, strumpet, every definition in the dictionary starts with a woman who. A woman. It very rarely says a person or a man or a woman who. These are terms that are...
Know why? Because those were female-driven occupations or engagements.
For hundreds of years.
So, male whore would be called a what?
A gigolo.
Oh, okay. A man who...
I thought you were pointing at me.
And then he stepped on the ball.
Right. Yeah, when I was younger, I was probably like, yeah, that's cool. But now I'm like, I gotta watch what I do.
Right. So there were not many. Up until contemporary history, there weren't a plethora of male gigolos on the street corner.
Nor was the connotation, to your very point, nor was the connotation being viewed in that perspective in 1218. But there was prostitution there, and the 99% of the prostitutes were women. It wasn't so that connotation, that verbiage, that structure is from what the census was. It's not like, oh, you can be a whore too. Yeah, of course men can be whores, but back then that was not the perception. So of course the content of the word is not going to reflect that. So that argument in itself is like,
So I just want to make sure we pointed that out.
Sure.
That are made for you. Don't do that.
I mean,
don't do that.
We get called F-boy, and that's
what, the same as a whore? Does it hit you? Does it hit you the same?
Nah, it's definitely not the same.
It's not the same.
It's not.
And the whole world doesn't do this to you, and you're not judged by it, and then you're having your life ruined by it. Your work ruined by it.
That's all.
Your personal relationships ruined by it.
Is that her? Is that Karine Steffans? Is that actually her?
Who's speaking?
Yeah. I don't know her by face.
Yes, we'll make sure we put the side by side up.
No problem.
No shade to her.
I think it's a trigger moment for her.
Most definitely.
You know.
Yeah, I definitely think I understand the ideology of what she's trying to project in her argument.
Really? Which is
there's bias. Of course there's bias. And why aren't we looking at this from a holistic perspective? Because that's not how the world works.
Because if I make bad decisions, I have to own those bad decisions, in which I have done many times in my life, and I have to deal with it.
And be accountable for those.
Right.
I think what gets me the most, though, is the way she's speaking about it is with lack of context. Like you're saying it like ruining lives and ruining because you were called a whore. Well, what were you doing?
Right.
What was the perception behind those acts? And people will confuse this and say, oh, well, I could just be doing this and be called a... No. That's not what she's saying in these moments, because they're making the parable of Lori Harvey, who dates all these men, and what that is being perceived as. Well, would I call Lori Harvey a whore? No, because I don't know if she's doing this for money. That's what I think a whore is. Right?
Would you call a slut?
I wouldn't go as far as slut.
Would you say she was for the streets?
Possibly.
Okay.
Possibly.
Only
because
I wouldn't say she was for the streets or a whore or a slut.
Because you don't want to sleep with her.
Well, yes, but also I think it's also because I just don't think she moves well.
Lori Harvey?
I just don't think, Lori Harvey.
I don't think so either.
That's my biggest thing.
I would err on that side as well.
Okay, then what's the difference?
A chick who doesn't move well in celebrity, it's going to be in the, because this is why context matters, right?
Sure.
In the celebrity space, we've seen Rihanna, we've seen Nicki Minaj, we've seen other celebrities like Meg Thee Stallion on the Lori Harvey side who don't know necessarily how to move well, and then we've seen like Cardi B, who was linked and dating 4 or 5 different guys before she got with her husband, and she was a stripper. Like, everybody knew what she was out here doing, and the overall perception in our community never really seemed to come off like she was for the streets. Like,
So,
name a chick who's for the streets?
yeah.
Who's Lori Harvey is being perceived as if she was for
What
the
do you
streets.
think?
I don't think she's for the streets. A chick who's for the streets is probably getting, hopefully she's getting paid for. Is a chick who's on fucking OnlyFans and saying, like, if you want to do an in call.
Well, I mean, okay.
But like a celebrity, I'm trying to think of that's what my whole point was. As a celebrity, it's going to be out there. Like,
That's
right.
true, but I mean,
So-
if you DTF, man, right?
Yeah.
That to me is for the streets,
Okay.
right? If you just DTF willy nilly, like you just out there, you can do that, but you can't. You know, what I mean, please understand that comes with the negative connotation that she may not be wifey material.
And that's where it circles back to, is like, I don't have a problem with anybody doing what the fuck they want to do.
You would if it was the chick you wanted to date, or you were dating and you found out.
Yeah, but then I have to make that decision.
Right,
So
but then
again,
you-
I still
but then
wait.
you have
I still have to make the decision.
But you would have a problem with it.
At that point,
That's what I'm saying.
I have to make the decision. Am I gonna be comfortable enough to go forward with this?
And why wouldn't you?
Because of exactly what you just said.
Exactly, because
Right.
you know Earl hit too.
What? Why you frontin'? Let that nigga Terry bone. I know I look better than that nigga.
What's that?
That nigga Terry Bond.
You like that nigga Terry Bone?
So I'm saying,
I know I'm better than that nigga.
But that's what I'm saying is, like, do you know how to move? Same conversation we've had before. It's 25% of the dudes in the spot, you know, that this young lady has been DTF.
Yeah,
been DTF with, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And let's say it was 4 or 5 years ago, but like in that time, she ran through these four
Yeah.
dudes in 20, right?
Right.
That are there, but you know it, and they going up and hugging her, and hey girl, you look good. I see, giving her the up and down.
Together?
And we together, right? Versus, she's ran through 50% of the room, but you're not even aware because they know how to move. Listen, it was fun when we did whatever we did. That was then. This is now, and she's moving like she's with you, and she's not moving like, yo, I'm trying to get attention for everybody else.
So here's the caveat to that. All that is true. But what it boils down to is ego.
Right.
Pure ego.
Right.
Right? Because at the end of the day, yes, I would prefer a woman who moves correctly. Because when you with me and we together, it don't matter what you did before. If we came to agreement, like, I'm cool with this, I'm comfortable with being with you, this how we gonna move going forward, and you maintain that integrity, hands up, don't shit.
If you found out your wife was a stripper
Fine.
after the fact,
Fine.
okay.
I think, but see, that's what I'm saying is it's not just we know how to move.
Wait, clarification. Did I marry her first, or were we like long-term relationship before we got married, and then she was like, "You're a stripper"?
Nah,
You're a stripper.
It didn't matter. You just
a
found out after the fact that she was a stripper and a whore.
Was she just
You
a stripper
added
or was she a whore?
You added whore.
Nah, Diamond in fucking Players Club wasn't.
A stripper is not a whore.
Stop watching TV.
Come on, man. The strippers.
I got several friends
let's
who
keep
dance.
it
I got several friends who dance who are like because it messes up the money.
Are they DTF with most other guys?
No.
Are they with the?
No. They're like, yo, this is money.
Yeah, most
like,
of the
and I don't want to mess up the money.
No pun intended. I'm not fucking.
They don't even really
give me money though.
Most of the strippers I've met were in DTF.
I mean,
you have to be on a certain status.
Right.
I met both. I met both versions. I met both versions. I'm saying, but it's not as many as you think that it's just like out here. Especially if you're paying.
Well, I don't know. So I'll take your word for it. You don't have to go into deep dive because you getting real serious, and I'm like,
no. I'm just saying. I've just it's both.
I'm not arguing with you.
But that's what I'm saying. No, but that's what I'm saying. If you're saying she was a stripper before we got married,
would it still matter? Stripper, whore, it doesn't matter. It's the same ego problem that you're having. All these guys have seen you naked, or all these guys have got the smash.
I think that there's a difference there.
I would like to just interject.
A chick will see you naked versus smashing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's gonna hit me a little bit different.
I know they're both having. You have issues with both.
I think you'll have issues with both, but what impacts you more is the question.
Nah, I mean, come on, you still.
I mean,
wait, his penis and his penis,
right?
And his penis.
Yeah, but half of the goddamn city has seen you. You know what I mean? Seen your wife booty ass naked.
It's just titties and ass.
If that's the case, get your wife on OnlyFans and make some money. Exactly. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that.
But how do you know I'm saying? Like, if maybe
she'll be with me. We'll do OnlyFans together.
That's cool.
I'm not watching that one.
Wait, that's cool. I wouldn't want you if I could watch it.
Oh my god! But I'm just so we're watching.
Like minutes. I wouldn't want to watch it.
But like, it's no different if she's doing a movie, right? Mm-hmm. And she's been naked on film, and she's had sex on film.
Trust me, I've heard stories. Guys can't watch.
I'm saying
they're guys.
But did they get a divorce or did they stop being with that person?
Nah.
Billions of people have seen that person. That's all I'm saying is like
hundreds of millions.
It's different if I'm on stage.
It matters.
We didn't say that it didn't matter. The question was.
I think you're missing the point.
What you mean?
What's the point?
The point is they still have a negative connotation or a negative impact, a high enough impact that it would deter you from dating a girl.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be the same.
It's just high enough. We can live there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Play the video.
Yeah.
Okay. You wanted to disagree though. You asked for this.
You want the soup?
The same. You guys don't have the whole world judging and telling you what to do with your body.
Okay. Also, I wanted to make sure that we were clear here. So when she said it will destroy families, it won't destroy your family, it won't destroy your job. That's all lies. That's just not true. So a man who is caught sleeping with a whore, who's a whoremonger, we'll say, could lose his family, could lose his good name because it's out in the open. Once again, take a drink. It's how are you moving? How are you moving? The dudes who was messing with this chick before she wrote her book assumed she knew how to move, and then she had run through all these dudes. Nobody to her face was calling her a whore, whatever, any of these different types of things. Like, or even necessarily behind her back. They just be like, yo, she DTF. Now, that may have had correlation with her being easy, right? But it's not until that stuff comes out into the forefront that could have damaged, and it did damage families. It did damage people's names. It did damage situations for a lot of those guys.
Yeah.
So because it lost its anonymity.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm like, when you say that, like, being called a whore does all this stuff for women. Mm-hmm. There's somebody else who's going to be affected. Not even necessarily the man, but the man's family, the man's job. Like,
if he's stepping out, then of course.
Even if he's single, though. If you have been paying for the P, right, and you're trying to get a job, or you're at a job,
and I got outed in somebody's tell-all book.
Well, no.
We're depending on the caliber of woman, and if I had to pay a significant amount, I'm probably not looking for a job, and I'm single. I don't give a fuck.
If it came down to if that came down to you being a businessman,
sure,
and that's going to affect business, because prime example, Chick-fil-A, if you want to work for Chick-fil-A, there's a morality clause where they can take your business. They can take your business because you violated the morality clause. Don't have to necessarily give you any money or any recompense because you signed on that dotted line.
Sure. But you got to be okay with what you're doing.
Right.
So you got to be. I'm just saying for the girl, you got to be okay with what you're doing. Don't come at with her like. Don't come at us saying
it's hard for a lot of people to hear that.
Right.
That they got to be accountable.
You got to be accountable. You was out here doing what you're doing,
enjoying life,
right, and enjoying the prosperity that came with that.
I enjoy eating ice cream. I understand what comes with that.
Okay, never mind.
we literally have the government telling us what to do with our bodies.
We have the fucking government telling us what we can do with our bodies. Because we get a girl pregnant, guess what?
Gotta pay.
We don't have no say so in that.
Zero.
Now
you don't need to drive. We're gonna take that.
Where you going? Where you going?
I'm gonna take that.
And also, right now, men are feeling. People, just in general, are feeling the effects with what has been happening over the last 3 years. Like we ain't gonna. I don't want no issues with the alcohol, but like. Right in that space for the last 3 or 4 years.
Take this shot.
Or 3 years, right? 2 years. So, and the government, yes, is trying to have a conversation because there's other belief systems there.
That's true.
And I said, and I'm not knocking that a woman should have certain autonomy over her body. That they want autonomy over their body until they have to take accountability for that, though. And that's, are you willing to marry those two things?
Two things. So
that's, I just want to make sure we're bringing that up because everybody likes to throw that out, and then it's like, but then if the dude has no say so,
right? You forget that part.
Like, for what to do with their bodies. Well, I didn't want kids. I told you I didn't want to have kids. I told you that straight up.
Then it's, well, you should have thought of that before. Yeah, that's not okay.
Right, and you should have done that. You should have thought too. Or you was out here for the streets, and you got somebody else. You got somebody else's baby that I don't know
if it's mine. We have a problem.
And now I'm wrong. I'm sorry. I'm wrong if I say something or if I question that, knowing that you were out here in these streets.
So I think people should slow down when they deal.
Yeah, just take.
I feel like I'm talking to myself.
No, you're not.
Selection process.
I am.
I'm talking to the people.
That too, and I'm part of the people.
You are the people.
Right.
So
the rule works for everybody.
Yeah.
The government.
Yeah.
Somebody somewhere right now is changing a law that tells us what we need to do with our bodies, when and how we can get birth control, when and how we should even be able to get abortions or even just care, even just care. And then also when and how we should have sex and not have sex. The problem with slut shaming is this. Slut shaming is born in the insecurities of men. And your insecurities are born in your penises and your wallet size. Because honestly, and I'm gonna be super frank here, I never heard a big dick man with not just big dick energy, not just BDE, but a man who's well endowed. I've never seen a well endowed man call a woman a whore.
Well, so what?
You're a liar.
First off, she's coming at it from a standpoint of probably who the guy she's messed with.
Right.
Makes sense?
Well, in her face. Because she said something very important there. Very important. I've never heard a man who's well endowed call on. You've never heard that.
Yeah, she's never heard that.
You've never heard it, but your homegirl has.
Or maybe not in front of her face.
Yeah, and my homeboys probably called you that.
Yeah. I mean, do you think that speaking of society and how they view it, you think that society views her as that?
Yes.
Okay.
Who, Karine Steffans?
Yeah.
Yes.
She was paid to have sex with men. She's a whore.
Yes.
Yeah, that could be a porn star. Porn star's horse?
Professional, yes.
The professional horse.
I'll call those actresses.
You're a professional actress. The subgenre is whorish. Because you're being paid to have sex.
What's the genre? So the genre is porn?
That's right.
What about OnlyFans? Is that whorish? You're
Are
paid
you having sex on
doing
camera?
You're doing sexual acts.
No.
Or you may be having sex with somebody, like with your boyfriend.
You don't always have sex with whores. They can do favors other things.
Like at the massage parlor?
They can do other things other than you sticking your
their
key
subgenre
into
would be masseuse, and then professional, and then whatever adjective you like to use after that. The fact of the matter is that I don't want to. These conversations are difficult to have in truth.
Be truthful right now.
I am about to. Don't cut me off. Okay, that's what the video is for. When he hits the button. The conversations are tough to have with people in general because, to your point, no one wants to be accountable. Everybody just wants to throw it in and be like, "Oh yeah, well that's what it is." Why is it like that though? Is that how you were raised? Then speak to that. Is that your culture? Then speak to that, right? But no one's ever saying, "Well, how does that translate for you in your life?" Because these people that are doing that and they don't have no problem with what they're doing, they're not on social media or platforms saying, "Oh my God, they get money." Like, I'm not worried about other people's consensus or ideas
right now.
Because, they also made that decision consciously. And maybe an extra zero helped to soften that blow.
But it may have been immaturely as well, though. It could have been consciously, but immature.
Sure.
Because this young lady, like, I never read like the in-depth her book, but I read excerpts from her book because I was interested. Like, she was she still is a beautiful woman.
Exactly.
Like, right? So I'm like, how did you get yourself like this immersed into like how you're moving? Because there's plenty other. I'm saying, but there's plenty of other video models who are married now or in very, very long-term relationships. She, to my knowledge, has not been married. Like,
I think she was married to old buddy from Family Matters.
Oh, they were married for a year or something like that. And she hasn't had. She has self-admittedly said she doesn't really have that many healthy relationships. Hell, in here she even says like men drive her crazy and all this other stuff.
Like she has an issue with self first.
Right.
That's where you got to start.
So my thing is though, is you did all of that. You were happy and Confessions of a Video Vixen and all these other different types of things, and now you're changing. You're going by a different moniker. Why? If you weren't, is there any shame there? Like, and there's no judgment. It's just but I am curious. Why all of a sudden is there a change when you were tired? You're tired of being slut shamed.
Aha! Aha!
You want the soup? I'm just saying.
I would like for people to leave the comments below. Hit the subscribe button. Rate it, whether you like it or not. Tell us what your thoughts are on this matter. I am the Tony Davis.
Michael Andrew the Brand.
And I'm Wayne. # Aweman.